right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about a Bitcoin miner that seems to be flying under the radar. It is the third largest market cap Bitcoin miner, yet I'm going to show you with some simple math that proves that really nobody's paying attention to this stock. So I want to go through their monthly operational update for the month of March, and then talk about where I think this stock might be going in the future and where this company might be going in the future. So the company is CIFR Mining, stock ticker CIFR. They're a Bitcoin mining company. They really just started mining. Let's start out by taking a look at what CIFR's doing right now. CIFR, they're down 3% on the day. It's a red day right now. I'm not taking too much away from any of that, but that leaves them at about a $556 million market cap. That is the third highest market cap of all the Bitcoin miners that are publicly traded in North America. So Marathon and Riot are number 1 and 2 in any given order, depending on the day. And their market caps are actually significantly larger than CIFR's, almost triple. However, CIFR is the third largest market cap, and it's by a lot. So I just want to take a quick look. Okay, so very quickly, this was as of March 31st. So, this is about a week old. But you can see Riot and Marathon are way out in first place. But in third place is CIFR at $579 million, and that is significantly ahead of the fourth place, which is HUT. And then there's a big drop off down to Hive in the $200 million range. So Hive, Bitfarm, CleanSpark, TeraWolf, they're all between $200 and $270 million. So they're actually about half the size of CIFR by market cap. So you can see this is in a very solid third place, but nobody seems to be paying attention to it. So I want to take a look at their trading volume. Their average daily volume, and this is according to Yahoo, and I think this is a 20 or 30 day average, whatever the case may be. It looks like it's just under 1.5 million shares traded on the average per day. So at $2 a share, that's about $3 million of activity a day. So that's what the market is spending on CIFR on any given day, about $3 million. So when I compare that to Marathon, you're going to see Marathon's average daily volume is $36 million, and they are over an $8 stock. So that is very close to $300 million a day. So neither institutions nor retail investors have really jumped onto this ship. And by the way, CIFR stock has outperformed almost every stock in the Bitcoin mining sector so far this year, and almost every stock in the stock market. So we'll take a look. They have had a wild, massive run up. So later we will take a look at the chart, and I'm going to show you just how much of a run up they've had since, November or December of 2022. So over the last maybe 4 months, they've grown astronomically. If you enjoy this content, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and you can hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we put out a video. Okay, for now, let's talk about their monthly operational report. So this is their operational report for the month of March. This was put out April 3rd. Leading Bitcoin miner produces 413 Bitcoin and achieves new all-time high hash rate capacity of 5.7 exahash in March of 2023. That's their all-time record. It's been pretty close. They're only inching up over the last few months, but you'll see, 6 months ago, they were basically at 0. Okay, so this is a chart showing everybody's Bitcoin mined in the month of February. So you're going to see in the month of February, CIFR was here in fourth place with 398 Bitcoin. They did beat that. It looks to me like they're going to finish just behind Bitfarms, which mined 424, so that's 11 more Bitcoin, so almost a tie with Bitfarms. These two are trading off between 4th and 5th place. And again, 6 months ago, CIFR wasn't on this list at all. They were not mining Bitcoin at all. So they jumped from off the list to really a solid 4th or 5th place, where I expect them to stay probably in 4th place for the foreseeable future. There's not too many companies over the next maybe 3 or 4 months that have a chance of catching up to them. So here's the same chart without Core Scientific. I exclude Core Scientific because they are in Chapter 11. These top 5 spots I think will not change for many, many months. So CIFR, I think, has solidified themselves as a top 5 Bitcoin miner by monthly production. They've also solidified themselves as the third largest by market cap. So, they are a force within the Bitcoin mining industry, but people still don't seem to be that interested in CIFR. YouTube revenue is way down so far in 2023. So you can support the channel by hitting the join button. It's $5 a month, and the join button is right next to the subscribe button. Membership has its privileges. There's a lot of members only content already in waiting for anybody who's looking to join. In addition to that, we have a once a week members only live stream every Tuesday after the market closes, and we have a members only Discord that I am active in on a daily basis. So I appreciate the support of all the existing members, and of course you're welcome to come join at any time. So you'll see Bitcoin mined 413, Bitcoin sold 450. That leaves them with 427 Bitcoin. They were hodling their Bitcoin a little bit, so this month they actually sold more than they mined. There's not too many companies left that are hodling their Bitcoin, particularly right now. Bitcoin was at its highest price really since last June of 2022, so it's no surprise to me that most of the Bitcoin miners took that opportunity to sell their Bitcoin and create some cash flow. Deployed mining rigs, 53,500. Month-end operating hash rate, 5.7 exahash. So that is also a record for them. During the month of March, Cipher expanded operations in its Odessa facility while funding both operating expenses and capital expenditures through ongoing operations. You can infer that they did not do any stock dilution in this month. So that is one of the big contention points across a lot of the Bitcoin miners. There's a lot of dilution going on, but they said that they paid for both their operating expenses and their capital expenditures through ongoing operations. We continue to make great progress on the build-out of our Odessa facility and now have over 4.7 exahash of self-mining operations there, bringing our total self-mining capacity to 5.7 exahash. So I will say, one of the things that's important to know about Cipher is they have a very big facility in Odessa, Texas. That represents the vast majority of their operations at this time. Texas is looking at some legislature because Bitcoin miners have moved into the state of Texas in a big way, and they've been offered some incentives, so they're looking at maybe changing that around a little bit, so we'll have to see how that impacts Cipher going forward. It's not necessarily going to impact the existence of their facilities, but it may have some impact on availability and potential curtailment during winter months and that kind of stuff. But none of that's passed yet, so we'll have to wait and see and dive into that if and when that happens. Okay, with the shipment of miners arriving in Odessa in April, we expect to achieve our initial goal of 6 exahash, and we look forward to completing the Odessa infrastructure build out in the second quarter. So we are in the second quarter right now of 2023. Okay, so this is Cipher's Bitcoin mined by month. So you're going to see this chart does not go back very far. November was the first month where they actually had a full month of operations of mining Bitcoin. They mined 95 Bitcoin in November of 2022. Altogether, lifetime to date, at that point, they had only mined a couple of hundred Bitcoin over the first 10 months of the year. So you'll see from November to December, there was a gigantic increase. That's a 137% increase from 95 to 225. And then in January of 23, 343 Bitcoin. In February, 398. And then in March, 413. So each one of those was a new all-time record for Cipher on a monthly basis. I would expect this trend to continue, certainly for the next several months, maybe for the rest of the year. We'll have to see how it goes. I want to just take a very quick look at their balance sheet, because balance sheet is very important inside the Bitcoin mining companies, especially as we've gone through a long bear market and a crypto winter here. It's important to see how these companies came out of the other side of this crypto winter. I do think that we have bottomed out and we are now in the recovery stage, but this is not financial advice. That's absolutely just my personal opinion, and we'll have to wait and see how it goes. We have substantially recovered off of the bottom. We're up over 80%. Bitcoin itself from its lows in November to its current price. So if you look at Cipher's balance sheet, one of the main things you're going to see is a lack of debt. They have no long-term debt, which for Bitcoin miners has proved to be essential. These are the miners that have thrived in the crypto winter. So they have $47 million in current assets. The first quarter of 2023 did just end. So sometime, maybe a month and a half or 2 months from now, we will get updated information. But for the moment, this is the latest and greatest information. So you can see they had current liabilities of $40 million and total liabilities of only $75 million against $418 million of total assets. So this is a very healthy company from a balance sheet standpoint. Their total stockholders' equity is $342 million. So you'll see this is one of the few Bitcoin miners. Their market cap is actually substantially larger than their stockholders' equity. Most of the Bitcoin mining companies are in the reverse situation, so Cipher has outperformed, and let's take a look at that. This is a chart of every Bitcoin miner's stock performance over the course of the first quarter of 2023, which just ended. So this is January 1st through March 31st. you're going to see Bitcoin itself actually was up 72% in that period. So that was a huge run up in the first quarter. You're going to see a line in purple over here, 316%. This is Cipher. So in the first quarter alone, Cipher stock was up 316%. You can see that was the second best out of all the Bitcoin miners. That is a massive move to the upside, and it has put them in a place where they are the third largest market cap of all the Bitcoin miners. So you can see the Bitcoin miners have performed very well, but Cipher is actually one that has outperformed. And I'm going to go to the charts right now and show you it's actually even better than this. Okay, so this is Cipher on the 1-day time frame. Okay, so if I go from the bottom, which was December 28th, Cipher was all the way down around 37 cents a share. They are up 506% since the end of December. So that is an incredible run up. So for those who dollar cost averaged in along the way, or for those who were lucky enough to get in at the bottom, this thing's pulled a 5x in really 3.5 months. So this is the type of volatility. This is the type of movements we look for. This is the potential upside of Bitcoin miners. As a reminder, in 2022, it was mostly downside. So we got a leverage play to the downside trading Bitcoin miners for, more than a full year. But you can see Cipher here has made massive strides. This is a 500% increase, and it still doesn't even get them back to where they were last August of 2022, and it doesn't get them anywhere near their all-time high. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Okay, this is Cipher on the 1-week time frame. So you'll see we're down here, right here. Last time Bitcoin was at 25,000 was last August of 2022. So that was quite some time ago. So you'll see Cipher's about 16 or 17% away from that. So it is very close to that. Now, Bitcoin is higher than that right now. So I do think there's a little room to the upside for Cipher. Now that they're up and mining, remember last August, they really were not running any mining operations. They were still building out their infrastructure, getting ready to go. So for Cipher to get back to where they were when Bitcoin was at its all-time high in November of 2021, that would be another 323% increase. Now, that is not a short-term price target, in my opinion. I do think that, this 500% run-up it's had in the last 3.5 months, I think if any of the Bitcoin miners may be a little overheated, in my opinion, potentially it is Cipher. However, I did show you, really, institutional money, retail money has not really started to get into this stock yet. The trading volume is very low. So I do think there's a lot more adoption coming for Cipher as they continue to show on a monthly operational standpoint that they are one of the top 5 Bitcoin miners. So just to be clear, with this gigantic run-up, if Bitcoin does not remain healthy, if Bitcoin turns around and retests its lows from November, if Cipher were to do the same thing, that would be an 82% drop in the price of their stock. So with this gigantic run-up, the risk side of this equation does increase. That's kind of how I look at the risk-reward on this side. I do think this is a little overheated right now. I'm hesitant to start buying into a stock after a 500% run-up, but having said that, I do think on a long-term basis, the market hasn't really even started to recognize this stock. So I think long term, there could be a lot of upside left in this stock. So obviously not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. These stocks are wildly volatile. So invest carefully. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.